There was a time when food didn't come from apps. It came from patience. From a kitchen where the radio hummed softly in the corner, where windows fogged up on cold mornings, and where a heavy crockpot sat quietly on the counter working its magic all day long. This wasn't fast food. This was slow love. Welcome back to Great American Nostalgia, the place where memories simmer and recipes tell stories. Today, we're opening something truly special, a cookbook that was never printed, never published, never sold in stores, a cookbook written in handwritten notes, faded index cards, grease-stained notebook pages, and memories passed down through generations. These are 25 crockpot recipes pulled straight from Grandma's lost cookbook. The kind of meals that cooked while kids played outside, while laundry flapped in the backyard wind, and while families gathered around a table together. So pull up a chair, turn the volume up just a little, and let's go back to a kitchen that smelled like home. Recipe number 1, old-fashioned Sunday pot roast. Grandma believed Sunday pot roast could fix almost anything. A bad week, a broken heart, an empty house. She'd wake up early on before the sun, salt and pepper the beef by hand, and say quietly, "Good food needs time." Ingredients: 3 to 4 pound chuck roast 4 potatoes, chunked 4 carrots, thick sliced 1 onion, quartered 3 cloves garlic, 2 cups beef broth, salt, black pepper, a splash of Worcestershire sauce, Grandma's method. She seared the meat first, always. Set it locked in the soul. Then everything went into the crockpot. No measuring cups, no rush. Low heat, 8 hours. By dinner time, the meat fell apart with just a fork, and the house smelled like Sunday. Recipe number 2, slow cooker chicken and dumplings. This was Grandma's stormy day meal. Rain tapping the windows, wet boots by the door, kids wrapped in blankets. Ingredients: whole chicken or thighs, celery, carrots, onion chicken broth, salt, pepper, bay leaf, homemade biscuit dough. The lost secret: Grandma dropped the dumplings in by feel, not by recipe. She'd say, "If they sink first, you did it right." Steam filled the kitchen. Laughter filled the house. Recipe number 3, beef stew the way it used to be. This wasn't fancy. It was honest. Big chunks, deep flavor, no shortcuts. Ingredients: stew, beef, potatoes, carrots, onion, tomato paste, flour, thyme, bay leaf. Grandma never stirred too much. "Let it be," she'd say. And somehow, it always worked. Recipe number 4, ham and beans, the Depression-era classic. This recipe survived hard times. Grandma learned it from her mother back when nothing was wasted. Ingredients: dried navy beans, ham hock, onion, black pepper. You didn't complain about simple food. You were grateful. This dish fed families when money was tight and hearts were strong. Recipe number 5, slow cooker, apple butter, fall in a crock pot. Ingredients: apples, no peeling, Grandma didn't waste time. Brown sugar, cinnamon cloves. Apple butter meant cooler nights, school starting, sweaters coming out. She'd let it cook overnight, and the house smelled like October. Now, the house already smells like Sunday afternoon. The crockpot has been working quietly, just like Grandma always did. And if you grew up watching a meal cook all day long, you already know. These aren't just recipes. They're memories you can taste. So let's turn the next page of that worn-out notebook and keep going. Recipe number 6, old-school meatloaf, crockpot style. Grandma never trusted ovens alone. She said ovens rushed things. The crockpot? That was different. Ingredients: ground beef, breadcrumbs or crushed saltines, milk, 1 egg, onion, finely chopped salt and black pepper, ketchup for the top, She mixed it by hand, no spoons, packed it gently, never pressed too hard, low heat, 6 to 7 hours. The result? Juicy, tender, perfect slices that held together, just like the family at the table. Recipe number 7, slow cooker chicken noodle soup. This soup showed up whenever someone was sick, or sad, or just quiet. Ingredients: chicken pieces, carrots, celery, onion, egg, noodles, salt, pepper, parsley. Grandma tasted the broth first, closed her eyes, then nodded. No measuring cups, just instinct. She always said, "Soup listens if you pay attention." Recipe number 8, pinto beans and cornbread fixins. This meal didn't need meat every time. Beans were enough. Ingredients: dried pinto beans, onion, garlic, salt, pepper, a little bacon fat if times were good. The table, cornbread in the center, butter melting, no TV, just conversation. Beans taught patience. They always took their time. Recipe number 9, sweet and sour meatballs, church potluck favorite. This was the dish everyone asked about, and Grandma never wrote the recipe down completely. Ingredients: frozen or homemade meatballs, grape jelly, chili sauce, or ketchup. The secret: she smiled when people asked. Oh, honey, just enough. Crockpot on warm, gone before the hymn ended. Recipe number 10, slow cooker beef and gravy over mashed potatoes. This one felt fancy, but wasn't. Ingredients: beef chuck or round onion soup, mix cream of mushroom soup, beef broth. Grandma poured the gravy slowly, like it mattered, because it did. This meal meant hard work, long days, earned comfort. Some meals were loud, Sunday dinners, birthdays, holidays, but others were quiet. These were the meals that showed up when words didn't, when neighbors knocked softly, when casseroles lined the kitchen counter. Grandma never announced these dishes, she just cooked. Recipe number 11, funeral potatoes, crock-pot style. This dish appeared when life felt heavy. Ingredients: frozen hash browns, sour cream, cream of chicken soup, butter cheddar cheese. Grandma always used the good dish for this one. She believed comfort food deserved respect. The crock pot stayed on warm. People came and went, but the food stayed. Recipe number 12, Depression-era cabbage and sausage. Nothing fancy, nothing wasted. Ingredients: cabbage, chopped smoked sausage, onion, salt, and pepper. You didn't need much to eat well. Grandma learned this recipe when money was tight, and she never forgot. Recipe number 13, slow cooker macaroni and tomatoes, a forgotten classic. Ingredients: elbow macaroni, canned tomatoes, butter, salt, and pepper. This was a Friday meal, simple, cheap, and somehow always comforting. Recipe number 14, chicken and stuffing. This smelled like a Thanksgiving, even in July. Ingredients: chicken breasts, boxed stuffing, mixed cream of celery soup, chicken broth. Grandma's rule: never stir after the stuffing goes in. Let it steam, she'd say. Recipe number 15, beef tips and noodles. This was a company's coming dish. Ingredients: beef tips, onion cream of mushroom soup, egg noodles. Grandma ironed the tablecloth for this one, not because guests expected it, but because she did. Holidays weren't rushed back then. No countdown timers, no rushing to stores at the last minute, just food cooking quietly, while laughter moved from room to room. The crock pot was always plugged in, usually on the counter closest to the window. Recipe number 16, old-fashioned baked beans. These beans cooked overnight. Ingredients: navy beans, brown sugar molasses, onion bacon, pieces. Grandma checked them once before bed, once in the morning, and trusted the rest to time. Recipe number 17, slow cooker, turkey, and gravy. This wasn't for Thanksgiving. It was for leftovers. Ingredients: turkey pieces, turkey gravy or broth, onion, black pepper. The beauty: no waste. Everything mattered. Recipe number 18, chicken and rice, the all-day meal. This was the dish that cooked while life happened. Ingredients: chicken thighs, rice cream of mushroom soup, water or broth. Grandma said this dish raised kids, and somehow it did. Recipe number 19, Crockpot, hot chocolate, Christmas favorite. Yes, even dessert went in the Crockpot. Ingredients: milk, cocoa powder, sugar, chocolate chips. Memory: Christmas lights glowing, mugs lined up, hands wrapped around warmth. Recipe number 20, old-time chicken and gravy over biscuits. This was comfort, defined. Ingredients: chicken, flour, buttermilk. Grandma's rule: biscuits were always homemade. Always. The back of Grandma's cookbook was thinner, fewer notes, more stains. The handwriting wasn't as steady, but the love never changed. These were the recipes she made toward the end, when the house was quieter, but the memories were loud. Recipe number 21, slow cooker rice pudding. This one felt like a hug. Ingredients: white rice, milk, sugar, vanilla, cinnamon. Grandma stirred slowly, sitting down between stirs. She'd smile and say, "Some desserts make you slow down." Recipe number 22, old-fashioned chicken pot pie, filling. She stopped baking the crust. The filling was enough. Ingredients: chicken, peas, carrots, cream butter. This was served in bowls. Simple, warm, perfect. Recipe number 23, slow cooker beef, barley soup. This soup stayed with you? Ingredients: beef chunks, barley, onion, carrots, celery. The feeling: this was winter food, the kind that made silence comfortable. Recipe number 24, crock-pot bread pudding. Nothing went to waste. Ingredients: day-old bread, milk, eggs, sugar, nutmeg. Grandma never threw bread away, ever. Recipe number 25, the last roast. She never named it, just wrote, "Good for Sunday." Ingredients: whatever was left, salt, thyme. This was the final lesson. It wasn't about the recipe. It never was. If you're still here, you remember when meals took all day, when kitchens were the heart of the home, when food meant presence, not speed. These recipes aren't lost. They live in hands that still cook slowly, in families that still gather, in stories passed down, just like this one. If this video brought back a memory, a smell, a voice you haven't heard in years, then Grandma's cookbook did its job. From our kitchen to yours, thank you for keeping these memories alive. This is great American nostalgia, and we'll be right here whenever you're ready to come home again.